Podcast. Got that going. I came out today. I'm hearing the echo in the background. I came out. I didn't really come out today, but I was got an email notification. Was like, please, you done had $100 debited from your account. I was like, what?
What?
So I called the people at Rock. Well, I emailed them, and then they ended up calling me back. And basically, what it is, I have to pay my yearly business LLC fees.
Mm.
Missouri. So that was 100 something that came out of my business account. I'd have 100 something in. So now I got to take the 100 something that I got on my other card and put it in my business account.
Yeah.
So thus far, I have not made any money, but yet bills are coming out. Don't you just hate
Hmm.
I can't necessarily. It's the cost of doing business. You did. It's the cost of doing business. So you got to do what you got to do. But at the same time, it's one of those things where it's like, okay, I really didn't want to pay nobody no $100 some dollars right now. You dig what I'm saying? That was an unexpected payment.
Yeah.
As hell, I thought because I had a membership with them where you get like 24-hour access to lawyers and any legal documentation, whatever. So you basically paying like $10 a month, $20 a month to have a lawyer, basically on.
Hmm.
And I had a membership with them last year. I didn't see the benefits of keeping that membership around, so I canceled it out. So I was like, all right. I'm like, damn, I got another payment came out. No, I canceled them last year and come to find out it's the LLC fee. Fees for that I got to pay for the state of Missouri.
Mm. Okay. I'm
Not
sure
so
you
hard.
wore that shirt to be solely antagonistic.
Oh, I did. This is the Corey Holcomb, Jesus' mom, is a side piece, a side chick. Jesus is white for all you people to get offended about Jesus. I will be when we have the Corey Holcomb 5150 comedy show coming up next month. I do need to get on that. What else is going on? You know what? This time last year,
Hmm.
I was not ready to do business. What is it? End of February. Last year I was not ready to do business at all. Cause the first year, me and old boy was doing business together.
I remember.
That didn't work out because I didn't. I was still trying to work myself out of a hole, while at the same time simultaneously trying to start a business. So me and old boy ain't work out. So that kind of necessarily set me, but it was one of them things. And then so the second year was last year. I had worked crazy overtime hours all throughout the winter so I can pay bills and get the stuff that I need to get ready for business wise, for cutting grass for the upcoming season. This is how much it changes things, nigga. Last year I was still fighting with dude at the mechanic shop about fixing my truck.
I remember that.
Truck been sitting up the whole winter. Try to be patient with black folk and black business. Try to be patient, but some black people, not all black people, but some of us don't want to do good business. So after I lost my Christianity a few times and had come to Jesus meetings with him, Finally got that together. Started out and had no more, no trimmer, no blower. Had some ups, got all that. I started out using somebody else's stuff for a couple of weeks. Got that stuff. Had a trimmer stolen out the back of my truck. Truck broke down quite a few times over the summer because it's an old truck. It had been sitting up in the house for ain't no telling how long. Truck almost 30 years old, close to it, 92. Got all that fixed. I pretty much survived the whole winter without a breakdown. And this year I'm ready to hit the ground running.
That's what's up. That's most of the stuff you need.
I do anything to get started per se. Got all of my equipment, so the mower, trimmer, blower. In the process of utilizing the full time, like utilizing the full space that I have in the garage where I store my stuff. So after a lot of back and forth and meetings and procrastination.
Yeah, I never let me.
Finally, we have established that the other tenants will be moving out of that space because he has half the space. I have another half of the space. So I will be using the full space, which is 2 garage bays. And so it's cool. I'm gonna put me like a little shop, like on the left hand side, I guess on the inner left hand side or whatever. Shelves, some racks, a table and stuff, so I can change my blades out, sharpen my blades, do that. Be sure my blades be sharpened as much as I could last year, but it's something that you should do all the time. You know what I'm saying? So one, you don't have to go over your grass no more than about 2 times if it's a decent length. And then it just makes the cut look better, especially when you use a commercial more. So when your blade's not short, you're not gonna leave them lines. They call them stripes. You're not gonna leave them stripes. They're not gonna be as crispy. You ain't got them sharp blades. So I went to a couple weeks ago, did some price checking on some stuff. So now that I have full space to work with, I'm gonna build me a whole full shop. And then the other side, I'll probably park my trailer in. That way I could just back straight in, park the trailer, leave my stuff on there. So that's the plan. There's the plan. I think we're going to do this year, man. I think I want to hit the double digits.
That's what's up.
And by double digits, I mean thousands. I would like to hit the double digits this year, nigga. I think that we can do it. And I shouldn't have no too many breakdowns and all of that stuff this year, hopefully. So, anyways, man, I'm amped, man. I'm geeked. I don't know what everybody else. I know what I'm gonna do. More laws for the be out here. We're gonna be doing business. A few things are gonna change. Some price fluctuations. I took a class a few weeks ago, like what do you call it? Like I'm not gonna say like a management class, but it's like fertilization and different tools and different diseases and stuff that the grass gets. Certain and stuff like that. Drove all the way out to Kirkwood for that, but that was something that I couldn't miss.
Yeah, you would never think about that kind of stuff when it comes to grass and lawn care, like diseases of like the grass, and who would have ever thought of that? I mean, it makes sense because grass is like a living thing, or trees is like a living thing. So I mean, it makes sense. But it's like I would have never thought of that.
Man, honestly, science. It is a fine science to it. Because these, like, first of all, I was the only black dude in the class. So
yeah, unfortunate.
I mean, I tried to get my partner to come. He was unable to make it. Don't know why. But I think we just have 2 different goals as far as our business is concerned. I more of the like I want to turn this into a full-time enterprise. And he's like, well, I could do this full time, but I'm happy doing what I'm doing. So I'll just on the side type of deal. So same avenue, same area of expertise, but just two different mindsets, and that's okay. Because the brother definitely gets his money. Anyways, let me put up this topic real quick, nigga. That's enough. Well, nigga, what your life, nigga? I had opened up the floor for anybody to want to comment on my beliefs and question those. Nobody seemed to take up the challenge. So can't say I didn't put it there. I put it on Facebook and Instagram, and it's nothing spiteful. It's just people have a habit of wanting to go to everybody else when they have a problem with something that I do or something that I say. They always want to go for everybody else. This has been a constant problem throughout my life. They always want to go to everybody else. Well, why did Dave do this? And why does Dave say that? Why he act like this? Why don't you just ask me? It's always been one of my biggest pet peeves. Ask me. Why would you not ask? If you have a question, don't ask nobody else. Ask me. Makes sense? Source. I'm not a bad guy. I'm actually a very nice guy. Just people don't understand me.
I do like Okay, so do you think that you are approachable by people?
I think so. What's going on with your camera, homie? It's like hella lagged. Like your audio and your lips look like them
That's
old
weird.
Chinese flicks.
Is it still doing it?
Yeah, it's still doing it. You look like you came out one of them old 70s Chinese flicks. You have disrespected.
See, your
The
camera
Charlotte
was
Temple.
doing that last week, but mine should be doing that. Let me doing that.
It doesn't matter.
Microphone, real tech.
Figuring it out. Huh? All right, cool.
I don't know if that's gonna help or not, but man.
It doesn't matter. I got these.
It didn't work.
Sure. I think I'm approachable. I may be not necessarily I want to say hostile, passionate, very passionate about the things that I believe in. And I'm definitely gonna speak truth to power and bring them receipts and them facts. They're approachable. I think I'm too approachable actually, because there's a whole lot of people who just be wanting to talk to me like I don't want to talk to them like old drunks and crackheads just be wanting to talk to me. I'll be like, okay, thank you. All right.
Thank you. Come again.
Thank you. I move. Like the other night, man, it was this lady came in from that motel across the street, that Page and Grand. We all know the one. I think it's the Ebony Motel right there. Where all of illicit things goes on, and somebody, this female, lo and behold, walks across the street. I need you to call the police. Okay. Can I use your phone? No, can't use my phone. And I'm steady trying to get away from this woman. Like she talking, and she smells sour beer. Like how beer smell like when it's been sitting out in the sun for too long, or it been warm. It been warm for a while, and it started to get that sour. That's what she like. The lady straight, not even fresh beer, my nigga. She straight smell like a sour beer that been sitting out in the sun for 3 days. That's what she smelled like. And lady, stay. Lady, stay.
She smell like an alcoholic? What you saying? She smell like an alcoholic?
I don't know.
Or smell like a drunk?
Fresh. Like I say, she didn't smell like a fresh beer. She smelled like an old beer. So I don't know. That makes a difference. You can definitely smell the Milwaukee's best to her. whatever it is she likes to drink on. I'm steady moving. I'm like, I'm trying to move gently, just gently ease away from this woman. And every time I move, pretend like I'm looking through the store, here she comes. I'm like, oh my God, lady, get away from me. So as a matter of fact, I think I'm too approachable, to be honest with you, Rebecca. What do you think? You've known me for a long time. What are your thoughts on this matter?
I think it depends on who it is in the situation. I think it also depends on the person. Because I'm typically not afraid to say about anything, to be honest with you.
Hmm.
But I understand it because I know you. But a lot of people will probably say that you come off as aggressive when you're really just passionate about how you feel.
Toxic masculinity.
What the hell are you talking
Come
about?
on. I'm aggressive, nigga. That's that toxic masculinity Terry Crews was talking about.
um, ouch. But some people may think that you come off as aggressive, and I think that it may be the perception is aggression when it really could just very well be just you're just passionate about what you think and what you feel.
Hmm.
So, I mean, I can see both sides. I don't necessarily have to agree, but I can see both sides.
Right. And when have, like, I can disagree sometimes, but I don't know. It doesn't matter. I'm still going to continue to do what I'm doing, and it's not like I haven't been the same for years. I've actually softened. I used to be a real asshole. Like, you think I'm an asshole now? Like, when I was like 21, 22, oh man, I was real ass. Whew, nigga was bad. I had to go through some trials and some tribulations to become the man that you see here today wearing this Jesus Mom side chick shirt.
Which is very antagonistic. We just want to point that out.
It is, but I bought it. I didn't make it. So that kind of gives me an out.
No, nigga, no, no.
Then you ought to see the looks I be getting when I be wearing this dress. They be like, Jesus Mom was a what?
You live predominantly in a black community. You know you gonna get them looks. Would you stop playing?
Well, I've had a few people be like, nigga, that shirt is dope. Where'd you get that from? Oh, I got this from Corey Holcomb. But you're right. The majority of us are stuck in family traditions. I don't even think it's religion so much that's the problem. Even though if you go look up the etymology, the root definition of the word religion, it means to bind. So there's that. But I think it's more of a family tradition is the reason why we don't want to let religion go. I think it is, at least in the black community. I don't know about so much about the white community. I think it's one of those things. It's like I'm a Democrat. Well, why are you a Democrat? Well, I'm a Democrat because we always vote Democrat. Okay, but what are the Democratic policies that benefit you, brother? We can't let them Republicans. What are the benefits of you being a Democrat? I understand your mom and your daddy was a Democrat, your granddaddy was a Democrat, your great grandmama, whoever was the first non-slave to be able to vote was a Democrat. But why does you voting, how does you voting for the Democratic Party help you? I'm not saying that they're worse or better than the Republican or the Independent or the Green Horse. It's just when you ask certain black folk, why do you vote like that? Well, because of Trump, and we can't let Trump get in there. Oh, so that's the only reason why you vote Democrat? You don't know none of the policy. You the fear mongering that the media pushes you into. Okay, cool.
So that's your comparison of the two. Like that's how you, as far as like traditionally speaking, why?
I think so.
Okay.
I think, well,
So maybe you should tell maybe you should tell your story in regards to why you feel the way you feel about Christians, the way you feel about like we, like because we all used to go to church together at one point. Now I still go to church. I still go to church every now and then when I don't have to work and all that. However, you on the other hand, you do as far as like the community aspect, but not in the traditional sense, like I would, or we just would, or whoever would. Like, tell your story in regards to why you feel the way you feel and how did it start? Like, how did you start your research? Where did it start? You know what I mean? Like, where did it start from, et cetera, et cetera. Maybe that'll give people a better understanding of why you go so hard the way you do.
Sure, why not? Well, I'm 32. I
feel like I'm conducting a whole interview. As soon as you said that, well, my name's David Landrum. I'm 32.
Right. Yes, my name's David Landrum. I'm 30. And honestly, I was born and raised in the church. My father went to church. My mother went to church. We was at church every Sunday, pre-divorce and post-divorce. We in church every Sunday and on the Wednesdays that we could make it. If my mom had to work second shift, she would call somebody to pick us up, to take us to church, and drive us home. So I was born and raised in the church. I was born and raised. When I say born and raised, like I was already in it, just like my mother, her parents before her, and I'm pretty sure at least one or half of their parents before them. So it's more of a generational thing. And we have discussed before that a lot of people aren't willing to look outside of this one particular book to even understand or learn new concepts and ideas. So really, I was, I was raised up in the ultra conservative Church of Christ. Church of Christ being one of the most racist sects of the church, one of the most segregated sects of different denominations of church. I can tell you, I grew up in a predominantly white Church of Christ. I turned 17. Once I turned 17, I left high school, moved in with my father, and thus moved in to the Job Corps premises. So we were still going to church at that point at 17, right? So the first thing, they had a potluck inside of the church building. I thought that was sacrilegious. I'm like, oh, you can't be eating in the church. They always say, well, the eating, you can't be eating in the church. You can't be eating in the church. And then one of the brothers, I think it was Chris, Chris M, was like, you having problems, whatever. I'm like, you ain't really supposed to be eating in the church. Took me to the Bible. The church is the people. This, that, and the third. Woo, woo, woo. This is just a building. We fellowshipping together. The church is not the four walls and the foundation and the roof. The church is the people. So that I kind of started to evolve. Like, I can't necessarily say I was 1000% convinced that there was a Jesus or a God, but honestly, I just got to the point personally before I even started studying. Like, I'm a good dude. Overall, I'm a good dude. I mess up, I sin. I'm still in that sin mode, I sin, I fall short of the glory, but otherwise, I'm a good dude. It's a lot worse things I could be out here doing. I go to I come home, I try to work in my community. I ain't out here killing nobody, robbing nobody, none of that. So I'm like, I felt like a lot of in the Bible was, have sex outside marriage, it defiles your marriage bed. Okay. Other hand, it's like, okay, sex is a physical part of life. It is something that God has given. He gave you a sex drive. Let's not act like God didn't give you a penis and a vagina for a reason now.
Mm-hmm.
He made it so you can enjoy sex. Let's just be perfectly honest with you. So I'm like, okay, if sex defiles the marriage bed, I'd be sinning, but how do I know if this is gonna be good? Like I gotta test drive a car before I buy it. Why would I not sleep with the woman who I'm planning on marrying for the rest of my life? So it's just certain things. I was like, okay, that's completely unrealistic. So at that point, I kind of started to develop like my own version of what spirituality is to me. And I'm like, well, fuck, I might not honor everything or do everything that I'm supposed to do, but it's a lot worse stuff that I can do. So if by chance I'm gonna live the best life that I can live, I'm gonna try to help out the people that I can help, build businesses so I can put people on, put money in people's pockets. If I die and go to heaven or the afterlife or whatever it is that I'm going, and that ain't good enough for God, then send me to hell because I thing that I can do. And here's another thing: like if you so omnipotent and all knowing, if you the one created me, you knew exactly what I was gonna do before I did it, which means you set me up in the first place.
Wow.
Set up Job. Remove your hand over Job and let me fuck with this dude for a while and see if he denounces you God. Like, all right, cool. How much is the bet? $1.
So it didn't say that. Doggone well it didn't say that.
Close enough, my nigga.
Oh my God.
So then about 20, I want to say about 27, 28, I kind of started reading like the ISIS papers and different books like that. I went to go see Umar Johnson a few weeks ago before I found out that he's a fraud.
Yeah.
Went to go see him and I started reading and I started being around folks, older people and different people like that who are studying things outside of the Bible. And that's okay. I started to discover things. I started to read things. It's kind of like, okay, a lot of this is making sense. When you say that the African spiritual system predates all religions, I'm not saying that to be an asshole or be facetious, but these are facts. The African spiritual system predates Christianity, Islam, Buddhism, all that by thousands of years. That is the father of every religion. When I tell you that the Ten Commandments were stolen from the 42 negative confessions, the Ten Commandments puts the blame on somebody else. Thou shalt not. Thou is you. You should not steal. You should not kill. You should not fuck your neighbor's wife. That's pretty much what it says. But the negative confessions say, I have not. So it puts the accountability on yourself. I have not stole. I have not killed. I have not done this. So in knowing that, how can I possibly continue to follow something that is really exclusive? The church is really exclusive. Most churches aren't even really working in the neighborhood that they in. You say you do outreach. People say they do outreach. Oh, we do outreach. We go downtown and we feed the homeless. That's good. Absolutely. You should feed the homeless. No problems with that.
Okay.
But people who are in your own neighborhood, who are in your own community, where are those people? Are you tutoring the parents, the children, to help them out? Or are you running a clothes closet, a pantry for the neighborhood? Do you have any programs? Are you trying to help the people who are you are with? And in my case, the people who I'm trying to help look like me. So I may have my own thoughts and beliefs and ways that I think things should be done. But the reason why I still go to church is because I'm a part of a bigger communal aspect. I'm a part of a larger organization. So I might not necessarily agree with everything that we sing or everything that we say, but in any organization, when are you going to completely agree with everything that they say That's why you have a board of directors. Everybody has a say. You can say yours, but ultimately it's what's best for the group. I'm going to continue to study and do what I do. But I know that Jesus is calling. Jesus was not in the building. Actually, Jesus went hard on the Pharisees and the Sadducees, which was the religious groups of the day. He went hard on them more so than he did the broke, the lame, the destitutes, the robbers, the killers. Jesus had right on him when he was on the cross. You shall be with me in these last days, whatever it is he said. I don't know the exact quote, but I know that Jesus had a kill on the cross. Jesus was with them people. Jesus was with them folks. You know, he wasn't about being with all them rich folks and trying to get all this money. He was a humanitarian in the truest sense of the word. In the truest sense of the word. So my question is, why are you not adhering to Jesus' teachings? Why are you not with those people trying to help them out? It's in the neighborhood that I live in, it's like 16 churches in like a 10 square mile radius or something like that. 10, it's 16 churches. It might be more than that. I don't know the exact number, but most of these churches that I see in my neighborhood, they might do a vacation Bible school a week out to something for a couple hours. But most of them I see, they don't live in the neighborhood. Worship in the neighborhood. You bring your dollars over here to the church, and most of y'all churches not even doing anything. Y'all are exclusive. You excluding everybody else who need your help. And then there's a lot of stuff like you go to a church, bro. People don't even want to speak to you. They'll just look at you. Hell, like you a stranger. This is a true story. We went down to where they came from, New Madrid. When we went down to Madrid, yo, I went down to her church that Sunday. That was the Sunday that they had like the Holy Convocation down at St. Louis. And they came out with the Rams horn, and I was like, okay, I don't really understand this, but okay, cool. And I was just like, hey, everybody was like, oh, we got a visitor. Visitor, come on, stand up now. Visitor. I'm like, hey, how you doing? My name's David Landry. I'm Kim's boyfriend, St. Louis, I look forward to worshiping with you again. That's all I said. I said, I look forward to worshiping with you again. And them niggas gave me the death stare. Like you could cut attention with a knife. I was like, oh, okay. But yeah, ultimately, my biggest problem is your lack of community, bro. I have seen firsthand and used to be one of those people who drive to the city from North County. I call it a funeral procession. There are so many cars coming from Barrington down, Florence, Blackjack, 367 down there by Red Man. There's so many cars and Cadillacs and Audis and everybody leaving North County to go to the city, to go worship for 2 or 3 hours, to go have you some church. You go to hometown, and there you go home. What have you done? What have you accomplished? Nothing. You worship in this neighborhood, but you too scared to live in this neighborhood. You too scared to help out the residents of the neighborhood. You supposed to be at church. What are you doing to help out the neighborhood? Or are you going to continue to be here until the white folk move back? Does being black mean anything to you, or are you just satisfied with having church? I was ready to throw the Bible away. I ain't gonna lie to you. I was ready to throw the Bible away, but one of my mentors, my elder, like, no, you ain't got to throw it away. You just got to learn how to stiff through it. You have to learn how to decode certain things. You have to learn how to, ignore certain things. Huh?
Or you talking about he was basically saying you got to learn how to eat the meat and spit out the bones?
Basically. Now, you know that we are talking about a European version of Christianity. We're not talking about the African version of Christianity. So, in the European King James Version, it says that slaves should obey your earthly masters. In doing so, you are obeying God. And then it be saying stuff like you must obey the laws and law of the land or something like that. Okay. But who was that specifically written for? Who's the ones that was not able to learn how to read and write during slavery? But the first book they did learn how to read was the Bible. No, nigga. You read this right here. You read this. This is what you read. But when I say that, I'm the bad guy. I'm just telling you the ugly truth. It is what it is, nigga. You cannot tell me that the European version of Christianity was not used to enslave us. Only recently, y'all niggas started getting back to the black Jesus. Only recently. And some of y'all still this way. So when you see Jesus as being the son of God. If he's the son of God, God is white. And you can't against your white oppressors, because when you rise up against your white oppressors, you are rising up against Jesus and God himself. If I'm lying, may the Lord strike me down right now.
Okay. Camera skipping.
That's it, nigga. You ain't got nothing to
say? No, your camera was skipping. It's a slight delay. Okay, so a question I got in my Facebook inbox, and no, it was not by anybody that commented on your post before you answer that. Because I knew you was going there. The question was, what makes religious studies, or no, what makes reading the Bible any less factual than studying of all the ancient and African artifacts if they all come from a book that we did not write or was not there when it was written? What's the difference?
The difference is there's carvings in stone long before the started using the papyri. So write down stuff, they carved it in stone. It's there. You know, you see the Sphinx and pyramids, and you can dig up pharaohs from 60, 80,000, 100,000 years ago. Still intact. Still there. Right. We found sarcophagus that was, if I remember correctly, it was about 14 feet long, about, I want to say about 8 feet wide, and like 6 foot deep. Made out of all black granite. But us, nigga. That's what I say. It's written in stone. That's how you know the truth. You can look it up. You can go from there. You know, you can go to museums, which I guess you would call to the museums. You can see that. I have not seen one artifact or piece of hair, clothes, the spear that stabbed Jesus' side, the cup that he drunk from, anything that would prove that he is in it. And when you ask Christians for archaeological proof, for proof that I can pick up and hold in my hand, when you ask them about this, they get to talking in circles. No different than when I relationship. And I think only one person answered the question. Everybody else wanted to talk in circles. Well, you see, it's because of this and whoop de whoop and Jesus and the Most High. We don't need all that. Just answer the question. Are you hungry? There's a yes or no answer. Are you hungry? I can tell you that. I can't necessarily say that has helped or hindered me because in time, but we ain't got them family members. If you don't act holy, if you out there smoking and drinking and at the bar, they got to denounce you. At least in the black community, anyway.
I think it was like that back in the day. Especially when I was growing up, it was like that. Now I think it's more so like especially for the church that I go to, pastors are more so like, whatever you do is whatever you do. And there's nothing I can do about that. If you're gonna keep doing it, then it's more of a like it's on you. You have to take accountability for your life kind of thing. It's not you can't come back to the church because you drinking and smoking. As long as you don't do it in the church. Not that it's okay, but it's like you can't do that here. Whatever you do outside of church is on you.
Jesus' first miracle was turning water into wine. And it was the good wine too.
You stupid. So you peel that comparison and say I should be able to drink in the sanctuary. Is that what you're saying?
No. I'm just saying, everybody wants to trip about, you drinking alcohol. Because my mom's like that. My mom is still like, I would say she in the sunken place. She's in a religion sunken place. And my mom's never coming out. And that's okay. I love her anyway. But if I have one drink and I smell like any type of beer, like not even if it's coming from my pores, like I could just be like, burp. And she smelled just the slightest hint of alcohol. Oh, you drunk? I'd be like, oh my God, really? But anyways.
But you know what? It seemed like back in the day, they felt like if you do, everything was a gateway drug back then though, too. So it's like if you was around people who smoke weed, even if you didn't smoke weed, it was like you don't need to be around them people because weed is a gateway drug to everything else. And that's kind of how I think that they feel about alcohol. But they would try to say I feel like they would try to say things back in the day in order to scare people to say, okay, well, we don't want you to drink because we don't want you to become an alcoholic. But at the end of the day, the Bible doesn't tell you not to drink. It just tells you do not wane into drunkenness. And I think people used to use that in the sense of scaring our generation into not drinking at all because they were so afraid of the possibility of them becoming a drunk. At least that's how I look at it.
Could be. Now, has religion helped or hindered, and not just relationships with, like man and a woman, where just relationships, period? Has it helped or hindered your relationship, or nothing at all?
Nothing at all for me, I would say. Because whether it's relationships, friendships, whomever, you're about the only friend that I have that believe that Jesus ain't real. And not because that's who I surround myself around. It just so happens to be that way. Right. But everybody else, they either go to church or they don't go to church, but they believe that there is a God and that Jesus is real. But like I don't feel like me and your relationship is hindered because I understand who you are and what you're trying to say. The perception may be different for everybody else, but I think I understand the point that you're trying to get across. Your truth is your truth, but it doesn't hurt. I don't think it hurts my relationship with you because at the end of the day, like I think I just get it. Like I see past how it may look. And I understand it for what it is. Everybody else don't have foresight like that, but
Nobody really cares how it looks. They just care about their perception of it. Oh, if you say anything about my Jesus, I'm gonna come get you. But what if I said something about your car? What if I said that, Ford F-150s are junk? You you get mad about that? 'Cause Ford loyalists out there who stand. But here's another question that comes up quite often, Becky. If I don't believe Jesus, how can I believe that there's a God? Well, there is definitely a creator out there. I can tell you that thing. I mean, you don't have any proof. Well, sure, this world is too complicated. I'm not gonna say world, this universe complicated, be an accident for it to be we came from monkeys or whatever little half crackpot theories that they got. I don't necessarily know that there was an Adam or an Eve. I don't really care. It doesn't really matter. I think it's pretty much irrelevant. We know the first people on this earth were African. That's beside the point. But you know how we're connected, everything in nature is connected. Just like man and woman's connected, the egg is connected. Trees and plants are connected with us as human beings. We breathe in oxygen, we exhale carbon dioxide. Trees and plants breathe, and we exhale. And they exhale oxygen. The four seasons come every year without fail. Global warming or not, we might only have about 1 week of spring like we did this past year in St. Louis. We had like 1 week of spring and then we went straight into summer. We had it, the four seasons coincide every time the ocean waxes and wanes with the moon, the sun comes up. It's too complicated for there not to be a mad architect of this thing. Can't tell me that. It's too complicated.
So why is Jesus so far fetched?
Because your Jesus is your savior. See, savior, creator, two totally different things.
Okay.
It's like it's the story of like the conception. He came down and he was born of a virgin, even though the Mac had already been told several times before Jesus' creation. How he died on Friday and rose on Sunday, even though that's 2 days. It doesn't add up at all. Doesn't make sense. And he's coming back. He's coming back. My question is, if Jesus was already born and he died and he was resurrected, isn't that already his second coming?
I can see how you see that there. Because that means he was born the first time and he died and resurrected. He came back the second time. So it would technically be the third coming. Is that what you mean?
Right.
Okay.
Yes. And ain't nobody coming to save you. Flat out. John Howard Clark says you have no friend. Anybody coming to save you. If you spent less time praying to Jesus to come save you and more time into putting that into your own efforts and ideals, I think that you would be much better. Even just giving him, like, take Jessica for instance. Me and Jessica was talking. She's like, "Well, you don't understand who I was before, and Jesus saved me, and it ain't because of him. That it's only because of him that's the reason why I am today." Okay, so I asked her. I was like, "But did you want to change?" Well, yeah, but Jesus saved me. But if you didn't want to change, Jesus wouldn't be able to save you. Isn't that a safe assumption? It's like, yeah. So until you wanted to be saved, until you wanted to make a change, a paradigm shift, that did not allow the Spirit to enter your heart. So how can you really do? You had to want to make that change. If you didn't want to make that change, no amount of Jesus, no amount of religion, no amount of spirituality, no amount of books is going to help you do anything to change your situation until you want to change it. And that's my take.
Okay, so the last question that was sent to me.
Questions?
And just the last one. It said, what's the difference between praying to the ancestors than praying to God or Jesus?
Well, if you according to the African spirituality, the ancestors are just the souls of those who have gone before you. Versus a fictitious I myself don't pray to any ancestors or anybody. I just keep it in mind and think about what they've done and take their information that they've left for us, and I just build on it. Some people do say, "Hey, I pray to the ancestors. I pray to Oshun." Gods. Hey, if that's what you believe, I guess. Hey, cool with me, I suppose. I don't really know nothing about that. I really haven't studied into all of the minor gods that they had in the ancient Egyptian civilization. But ultimately, my point is do for self, and all else will fall in place.
All right.
Now, anyways, after that, Akon, your boy Akon. Akon. Yes, brother Akon has called black artists dumb for not doing the Super Bowl, for boycotting the Super Bowl. And the reason is because he feels like if you need the exposure and you're an artist, and of course you always want exposure, why would you boycott the Super Bowl?
We should.
We should.
We should boycott the Super Bowl. What is he talking about? That was a stupid.
Well, he's saying if you are an artist, then you would do not to perform at the Super Bowl if you're an artist. You need that exposure.
Wow.
Maybe you have a new single that you're trying to promote. Why would you not perform at the Super Bowl? That's basically why he called black artists.
That's stupid. That's stupid as hell. He's stupid.
Oh, wow.
Is he trying to get some investment money or something?
I don't know, but it is a possibility.
Like, what the hell? Really, Akon? So people are stupid if they boycott the Super Bowl because if they are an artist, they need the exposure.
Yes.
Is he trying to get a play at the Super Bowl next year or this year? What he got going on? Is he trying to do the 2020?
I don't know. I heard that the Super Bowl doesn't actually pay for a performance. It's basically like you should be privileged that you are here to be able to perform on this stage.
Oh, wow. No, you would pay me for sure. First of all, what? They don't pay?
I've heard that. I've never confirmed that, but that's what I've heard.
That would be ridiculous if they didn't pay. Are you serious?
Bet you in the comment box cutting up.
Oh my gosh, help us all. On Facebook or YouTube?
on YouTube. Bet you in here cutting up.
Because he met too. What else did we expect him to do when we met too? Now I just left the comments and it wasn't no comment at all. There's a Super Bowl. Yo, it says the NFL does not pay its halftime acts as a performance fee as a matter of policy. That's right. Top earners like Katy Perry, Bruno Mars, Beyonce, Coldplay, and Lady Gaga all play for free in recent years. And Timberlake's Pepsi halftime show gig at the Super Bowl will be no different. That is ridiculous. I wouldn't do any of that. Privilege my butt, nigga. You gonna pay me all that money you niggas that made from this game? You ain't gonna pay me.
Caucasian exposure.
As a matter of exposure, nigga. Screw you. I already got exposure, nigga. If I'm Beyonce, you need me to be here. The hell? That's crazy. I did not know that.
I don't know what Akon is thinking. I don't know what Brother Akon is doing. But whatever drugs that he's doing.
Not drugs.
I appreciate you doing what you doing for your people over in the motherland.
Yeah,
with solar power. Kind of had to team up with the Chinese brother, but that's okay. Hopefully. Appreciate you doing what you're doing. But on this one, Akon is absolutely sure. You can always use more exposure. Sure, the Super Bowl is one of the biggest watched televised programs on TV that comes to you. The Oscars used to be one of those programs that used to get all the ratings. The Grammys, their ratings have fallen. I think all of their ratings have actually fallen in recent years because they're quite boring. But Akon is wrong, brother. We cannot stand in solidarity if somebody like Big Boy, and I love Big Boy and Outkast, but Big Boy, you should not have performed on that damn stage. You filed for that, brother. We don't appreciate that at all. But now, how can we get this? How can we truly represent the Pan-Africanism that is in this flag behind me? How can we truly practice Pan-Africanism if brothers like Akon are telling us that we're stupid for boycotting something that doesn't even pay you like the Super Bowl? Like, I should perform just for exposure.
No, nigga, you gonna pay me. Period.
There's a new gun, and I'm not sure exactly how new it is. I didn't check the date on the article, but
okay,
it is a brother, and let me see if I can pull this up on Facebook. It's a brother who made these two guns. He made like a full-size 9mm, and then he made like a little mid-size gun, and both of them are called the Truth. The big one's called Truth, and I think the small one's called the Truth C. It is the first gun, and it's going to sound weird. This is the first gun that fights gun control. Right, it's crazy. This is the brother here. That's the brother. He does some like super dope woke stuff. You could try to look him up on YouTube. Actually, this is very recent. The article came out this month on the 18th. That's kind of what the gun looks like to his customization, his specs. And basically what it is, according to the article, the Truth pistol, described as the first gun that actually fights gun control, comes packed in symbolism. Inscribed in the foam inserts that hold the handgun is an array of imagery representing historical moments that demonstrate how the gun is synonymous with freedom. Kevin Dixie, owner of the Missouri-based NOC Firearms Training, explained he wanted to teach people about the dangers of gun control, which he argued is implemented as both a form of oppression against a racial or ethnic group and to impede their progress. Gun control in its inception at its roots is deceiving, it's full of deceit, and we can actually talk about that. But how do we know that in a way, but how do we do that in a way that exposes the lies of gun control? He says, we do that by telling the truth.
Mm.
The Truth series comes in two forms, a full-size model and a compact one. Besides the size and aesthetic differences, the imagery that surrounds the item is also different. The smaller Truth C model comes with a background of tracks meant to symbolize the Underground Railroad used to help slaves escape to free states before the Civil War. The larger Truth is paired with a reference to Tulsa's Black Wall Street, a prosperous area of Black-owned businesses in which white residents massacred hundreds of Black residents in the 1920s. Dixie argued the former was possible because abolitionists and escaped slaves had guns, and the latter could have been prevented if Black residents were unarmed, meaning the Underground Railroad. Understanding things in their complexity, be able to explain them and execute them with simplicity, said. So if I'm going to say something is a lie, I'm going to give you hard-hitting facts that start the conversation, and you can do more research and bring truth to why gun control is not the way to go. And it's based off of a Heckler and Koch H&K VP9. All the rest of y'all can look up those if you are interested in guns. But that's one of them. And go down.
That's nice.
That's the other one.
They nice though.
Very nice. And basically, I will link to the website in the description, but it's real dope because at first I looked at the video and it's very like intriguing. The first gun to fight gun control. You're like, okay, that's kind of.
That's what I'm like, Like as you was talking about it, I was reading along. All I had to Google was first gun that fights gun control. And it was the first article that popped up.
Right. And when you look at the video is like 20 minutes long. He takes you through the stories, like in the foam, he's got like the Underground Railroad carved out. And then he's got like a top foam piece. He's got like, it goes up to the top of the case. You take the gun out, and the foam piece where the gun and stuff sits at, it's like a continuation of the story. And then you take that piece of foam out, and then he's got another piece of foam in the bottom that tells the story. Then the other one's Black Wall Street. I commend the brother. I think it's really, really dope that he did that. I think it's really crazy. I appreciate the fact that he's keeping his people in mind. I could definitely appreciate the fact that dude had on like a Malcolm X Black History hoodie. Because that's the first thing that I seen when the video came on. Dude's talking, and I seen this hoodie. I'm like, okay. Because, I'm thinking, okay, black dude. I wonder what side of the fence he's on. I'm wondering what team he played for. And I see it. The guns are super fucking expensive. I'm not going to lie to you. But if I had the money to buy the guns, I think the Truth is like $2,500.
Mm-hmm.
And the Truth C is probably like a couple $100 cheaper than that. So maybe like $2,100, which is very freaking expensive.
It is for a gun.
I was like, oh, 20. Oh, Jesus. Oh, Lord, no. It's already based off a platform, and there's tons of customization. Do that, and that's all it is. Nigga. You know, I'm proud of the. I really like what he's doing. Did not know based out of Missouri, but
I saw Missouri. I was like, "Oh, is it somebody from St. Louis?"
In the wake of Ferguson, no, I'm playing.
You stupid, right?
I felt I had to get a gun for. You got any thoughts on this, Rebecca?
No, I just hope that it's expensive, but I hope that people support him. I think it's a dope idea, and for him to be able to create that, then I think that'd be, huh?
I'll say he did it in a non-antagonistic way. Telling you, watch the video on there. He really takes you through the whole thing. It's dope, and that's the tactical light and other things that he can customize with. So just
I'm for sure gonna take a look at it. You still there? I think he kicked him off again. It say he on here.
We back live? Damn, man. That's horrible.
Why is it calling both of them?
Hello.
This is weird. Hey, Metu.
How you doing, beloved?
I'm fine. How are you?
I'm alive.
You alive? Hold on. What'd you say, David?
They kicked him offline again?
He said, "Have you renounced Jesus yet?" He just started laughing.
But they kicked him offline again?
Yes, they kicked him offline again.
Plead the blood of Jesus on that dude.
He said they keep messing with you, man. Yeah, they like we was in here doing it. Said that it ended because of an error.
Yeah,
Ended because of an error.
He got to get baptized and then keep him online.
I'm not gonna play with y'all. He said you got to get baptized and then keep you online. He told him he took a bath. Does that count? Metu, you married?
What'd you say?
I said, you married?
Nope.
Oh, that's just a ring on your finger.
Yep.
Man, you gotta do.
I will be married.
When you get married?
Sometime this year.
He said, as soon as you go to Uganda. That's what David said.
Nah, as soon as I get to Uganda, I'll be doing some baby making, but I'll do the marriage later.
That sounds like a lot of work.
Hey,
hold on, Metu. You know, they got this live. Is this supposed to be live?
Did y'all read my comments?
No, I didn't get to see them. I didn't get to see them because when I was on there, you wasn't. There weren't no comments when I was on there. Come on, this thing getting on my nerves.
St. Louis?
Huh?
You live in St. Louis?
I'm from St. Louis.
Where you living now?
I'm in Kansas.
I need an autographed copy of your book.
Sure. I'll be in St. Louis and let me think. I'll be in St. Louis March. It'll be within the next 2 weeks. David.
What's up, yo?
Oh,
they put me off that too.
You gotta be my Lord and Savior.
I'm sorry, I went in on your Jesus, Metu. I do apologize.
Yeah. Man.
First of all, both you niggas is lying. Let's just start there.
Let's just. Hey, they kick me off of the thing, Lord Jesus. They kick me off, Jesus. No.
I ain't playing with either one of y'all. Not doing it. Nope.
I'll say next week or whenever we do the podcast over again, we're just going to pre-record it like we did used to.